Hello and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra. It's also live on Love 99.5 in Kumasi, Sun City Radio in Keta, on Facebook live stream, and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Radio Justice Tamale, Sky FM Sunyain, Radio Fombese, and Radio Max in Takrade. Our digital outlets include the myjoyonline.com app, Spotify. Coming up, majority and minority MPs take entrenched positions as they prepare to vote on the 2022 budget statement after days of debate.
Particularly in a post-pandemic economy, if your fundamentals are weak, your inflation will expose you. My constituency, Nyankpala, is a beneficiary of this. If I don't support this budget, they will never forgive me.
We'll tell you what to expect on the floor of Parliament as government contemplates revising the proposed 1.75% electronic levy in the budget.
There's no way that the minority will stand with government on the introduction of the e-levy.
I think the change should be how do we make this efficient?
Also, NADMO ends rescue mission in the Wassa and Kran mining pits collapse in the western region, which has so far claimed at least 9 lives. Residents have started identifying their relatives among the dead.
Wow. Okay. Right.
7.
How? I hadn't even asked you the question yet. Yes.
And 3 schools, 9 contestants, 3 proud regions. It's arguably the biggest day in Ghana's educational calendar as high school students display their sophistication and dexterity in science and maths at the grand finale of the NSMQ, all for one glorious trophy.
What will happen in the finals is God's will. And if you will say that we should win by even 20 points, we are winning by 20 points in Jesus' name.
Live in Keta Senior High Technical School in the Volta region, Prempeh College in Ashanti and Presec in Greater Accra for what promises to be a nerve-wracking contest for 3 schools. And later in sports.
In sports, Ghana will organize Africa Games to remember. This is according to the Minister of Youth and Sports, Mustafa Osef. We have details in 20 minutes.
My name is Mamavi Aboagye. Thanks for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. The NDC and NPP sides in Parliament have taken entrenched positions ahead of the crucial vote which will decide if Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta gets the nod to implement measures introduced to raise more taxes to meet the country's ever-growing expenditure. The government is seeking approval to spend 137 billion cedis next year. The debate, which began on Tuesday, witnessed drama and intense exchanges from both sides of the House, and the tempo is expected to go up a notch higher today, with a minority threatening to subject the approval to a vote. The majority and the minority leaders are expected to lead their sides in concluding the debate today, and already the minority leader Haruna Idrisu says his side will not support the budget. Majority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre says his side is ready for battle.
I'm serving you notice that tomorrow I intend to invoke the letter and spirit of Article 104 of the Constitution when leadership concludes on this matter, and a vote will be taken where we stand on this budget policy principles and what it contains.
We've taken a cue, and as such, we will also position ourselves properly. As Speaker, I can assure you that tomorrow you will have a full packed house here. Ready, a full packed house ready to do battle and do proper battle with our colleagues in the minority. So we'll be ready. Evoke Article 104 and we'll be ready to meet you accordingly.
Haruna Idrisu and Frank Anodompre speaking on the floor of Parliament on Thursday. Well, parliamentary correspondent Kwesi Parker-Wilson joins us on happenings on the floor shortly. First, though, Elton Brobe joins me in studio to walk us through the process to the approval or otherwise of the budget. Elton, what happens when the debate is done?
So when the debate is done, the Speaker will be left with one option to put a question. And the question will be whether Parliament is ready to approve the budget. and financial policy of government for 2022. This will be the question that the Speaker will put before members of Parliament. The motion requesting the House to approve the budget and financial policy of government for 2022.
Does the House require a certain number to take a decision on the budget, Elton?
Well, as provided in the 1992 Constitution and the Standing Orders of Parliament, Parliament voting shall be determined by votes of the majority of members present and voting with at least half of all the members of Parliament present. Now we have 137 members on both sides with one independent candidate. If we have 137 at the end of the motion, the motion will be defeated. If it is 137 after the question is put. Now, one requires simple majority to have this go through. That is, if the NDC maintains their stand that this should be subjected to voting.
So we know the Speaker cannot vote, but what about the Deputy Speakers?
So if you look at the Constitution again, it says that a Deputy Speaker or any other member presiding shall not retain his original vote whilst presiding.
What are the instruments available for the determination of the vote, Elton?
So we have witnessed secret ballot before during the election of the Speaker. Now, in this case, it is by a voice vote or head count. I've heard some people say that it could be stretched to a secret ballot, but the standing orders and the Constitution are clear on circumstances under which a secret ballot can come into play. Where Parliament, according to the Constitution, is considering a bill to amend the Constitution, or where the voting is in relation to the election or removal of any person under this Constitution or under any other law, voting shall be in secret. And if you relate to this particular provision, you might come to the conclusion that today's voting will either be by voice voting or by head count, not a secret ballot.
And finally, Elton, we're picking information government may revise the proposed 1.75 levy on electronic transactions. What do we know?
So we've been checking with our sources at the Jubilee House, the Presidency and the Finance Ministry. We know that on Wednesday there was a cabinet meeting, and then yesterday there was a meeting called by the chairperson of the Government Economic Management Team, which is the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, and this matter was discussed. Now, what I'm picking is that there's a proposal for the Finance Ministry to abolish inward remittances as it is contained in the provisions under the electronic levy, and also bank transfers. These are the two items that the Economic Management Team asked the Finance Minister to remove from the items under the electronic transaction levy. And also there is also the possibility that the 1.75 levy proposed tax will be reduced. As to what figure that will come up to, we are unable to tell. Yesterday, we know that the Finance Minister scheduled a news conference but was cancelled at the last minute. We are not clear whether these directives, as we have been told, came out from the Economic Management Team will be considered before or after the approval of the budget.
And that's Elton Brobe. Let's go to Parliament now. Parker Wilson joins us live. Parker, busy day ahead. What's been happening on the floor?
Right, so Mamavi, Parliament is there to commence the business for the day. And as I speak to you, the minority is holding a press conference, raising concerns about the delay in parliamentary proceedings. Amako Kibwa is one of them who was just addressed the media a while ago. What really is your concern? I mean, well, Parliament is going to...
We are aware, as you could see, 137 members of the minority are ready sitting. We are still waiting. And there isn't one, this is what has drawn our attention. Not even one member of the majority side is in the chamber. We are reliably informed that the Speaker is ready to work. But the table office has to let the Speaker know that we are ready. And unfortunately, that has not happened. The fact is that where is the MPP majority?
But they are your colleagues. I'm told they're in a caucus meeting. Have you reached out to them?
They are in which caucus meeting? This is not the time for caucus meeting. Is that a caucus time? It's 12 o'clock. Obviously, the time for the meeting is ascending, of course, unless otherwise changed by the Speaker. But I'm reliably informed that we should be starting. And the reason we are here is because the MPP do not have their act together.
Not only from me, a suspicion as to why they are delaying.
Well, the information we are getting is that they are trying to get their members from different parts of the world to come to Parliament.
That's the information I'm getting. And if that is really indeed true, if indeed that is true, then that's very worrisome because it shouldn't take a day like this for people who are supposed to be in government to now be more across the globe to come to work. Right, so Mamavi, that's Amaka Sibuwa, the LMBLA MP, and of course expressing the sentiment of the NDC MP who have been in the chamber since 11 a.m. They themselves were in a caucus meeting, and so just about 11 a.m. they came to the chamber. And I must say that indeed there's no member of the NPP caucus in the chamber as I speak to you now. They are still in their caucus meeting, and we are told that they are looking at how to review the budget before they come to the chamber to debate the conclusion of the budget. So in Parliament or the chamber, nothing really is happening, with the exception of the concern being raised by the minority. And I must say that the minority is clear in their minds that with the current form of the budget, they still maintain their position of voting against it.
Okay.
Until they review it, then they can shift their position.
Okay, real quick, Packer. Before we determine whether or not the majority is late to the House today, we have to figure out the advertised time for today's sitting. So what was issued by the Speaker's office?
10 a.m. 10 a.m.
All
So
right.
if you check your time, it's delayed for almost about 2.5 hours, or nearly 2.5 hours.
And why has the Speaker not called the House to order, do we know?
Well, with the practice of Parliament, members of the House would have to be ready before Speaker begins activities for the day. So until the table office notifies the Speaker of the readiness of the MP, the Speaker cannot go into the chamber to commence the business for the day.
That's our parliamentary correspondent, Kwesi Packer-Wilson. Now, the National Disaster Management Organization says it has brought all rescue activities in the mine pit collapse in Wassa and Kranesikuma in the Pristiahoni Valley municipality of the central region to a close. Francis Abeku Yanka is NADMO director at Pristiahoni Valley municipality, and that's in the western region.
Just listen to your Ghana government. You get advice, and then the measures you put in place, and then you can hold one or two people that you are in charge of this community mining, and the government too will support you. They will give you money. They can give you maybe excavator and processing plant, and then you can see you are secure. Then, if you don't have any supporting for Ghana government or anyone, and if you risk yourself to go to underground, to go and work hardening yourself, or if you have some opinion leaders to support them, you can come to the municipal assembly, the chief executive, and then the team. They will give you advice, and then you can save your life.
NADMO director at Pristiahoni Valley municipality there. Well, administrator of the Takwa Municipal Hospital, Abubakar Abbas, has been speaking to Joy News about those who sustained injuries.
There was some caving in of the pit, and about 9 guys were dead. So the police commander of this municipality actually led the team that brought the 9 dead bodies to our mortuary. So currently they are lying there. Environmental health officer, and he's on the field, and he am designated to work on these things, and it's confirmed.
Has any of the family members come to the hospital?
Yes, currently 6 family members had been located, and they've come and they've identified their bodies. So it means currently we are grappling with the other 3, and whether we'll be able to get through to them or not is yet another issue we are thinking about.
You heard the administrator of the Takwa Municipal Hospital, Abubakar Abbas. Now, a group calling itself Friends of Rhoda besieged the Asokwa District Court in Kumasi during the hearing of a case in which a KNUST lecturer is accused of kidnapping his wife. The Friends of Rhoda, mostly made up of co-workers at the Lands Commission, classmates and well-wishers, stormed the Asokwa District Court in T-shirts branded with pictures of Mrs. Rhoda or Rodelyn Amuadakum. It comes with inscribed hashtag Bring Rhoda Back. The Justice for Rhoda are the front and back of the green and white T-shirts. Stephen Oduro-Kwating, the regional lands officer, is a leading member of the group. He tells Ohim Terry of our security desk the group is seeking justice for the missing Rodelyn Amuadaku.
Our main preoccupation is to secure justice for Rhoda, nothing more, nothing less, because he's a colleague that we admire, astute colleague, a colleague that is hard-working, so lovely and lovable, and down to earth. Is everything, but unfortunately, circumstances have taken her away from us, and therefore all we are yearning for justice to prevail.
In your attempt to seek justice, what exactly are you doing in search of this justice for your astute colleague?
We mean business. We have even set up a fund to ensure that justice prevails. And we are calling on the staff and even the general public to donate. And through that, to assist you like the media, the police, and all the other investigators to do their work well so that justice would definitely be served.
Let's get to the phone and speak to Ohiming Terry of our security desk who monitored development in courts for us. Ohiming, bring us up to speed on what happened in court today.
Thank you, Mamavi. This was the third time Dr. Wilberforce Agri was appearing before the Asokwa District Court. For our listeners, just last week, a Kumasi High Court denied him bail. So at the High Court, prosecution told the court that it has stumbled on important evidence, which the prosecution believes it has started investigations into. So today, all eyes were on this new evidence that probably would have come up in court. But when the prosecution started, in court today, he told the court that the Attorney General's office has served notice that they want to take over the case, and that he prayed the court to give a short adjourned date. And the lawyers for Dr. Agri were not happy because, according to them, the court had ordered that prosecution serve them with some disclosures, and the court had to agree that once the Attorney General has served notice, it wants to come into the matter, the best the court can do is to adjourn sitting to December 12, 2021.
We don't have any problem. It's the right of the Attorney General to indicate to the court their level of investigation. They say that the Attorney General is taking over the matter, and we don't have any problem. So we are waiting. As lawyers, we will express our misgivings, but the judge is of the opinion that once there's an indication from the Attorney General that they want to take over, that is what they need to. They were to make disclosures. That is it.
And you heard the lawyer for the accused, Dr. Agri, who is also husband of the missing Rodolin. Let's talk about the National Science and Maths Quiz. And this afternoon, 9 teenagers will be the center of national attention when they mount the stage to demonstrate their knowledge in science and maths at the grand finale of the 2021 National Science and Maths Quiz. Kumasi-based Prempeh College are up against defending champions Presec Legon from Accra and Keta Senior High Technical School from the Volta region. In the contest, experts believe will be closely fought. We take you live to the three schools as we build up for the big events coming up this afternoon. First, though, here's how the schools got to the final. Here's quiz correspondent Manuel Kranting.
Sights and sounds from the month-long journey of the 2021 National Science and Maths Quiz. 135 high schools across the country set out for the trophy and the bragging rights. But some of them began bragging when they were yet to secure the right.
We want to meet Presec, PC, OWAS. They should all stand out.
We are not a Bismarck the Joker or basketman.
Chemu is not a match. You are going to win, hands down. They didn't know. Our boys, they were just playing game.
From 135 to 81 to 27 to 9 and then to the final three schools, heartbreaks became a daily dose for losing schools.
This really depressed me. I'm really depressed. Oh, Charlie.
You don't understand. They are all shocked. Look at their faces. It's like a dream to us. All the way from Cape Coast.
Then the giant slayers took their place. Sunrise SHS, Tamale SHS and Chemu SHS were all at the table.
It's an easy task. We know we had nothing to worry about. Since Achimota, that they are juniors, we haven't beaten them. It's not anything new, so we have to rest. Yesterday we slept. We know we had nothing to do today, so we slept. But they did well because they gave us some small tough time. Well.
You also knew you were going to beat Augustine?
Yes, please. Because we have actually done it before. And so we knew that...
You've done it before, when?
Yes, please, during one of our trials.
This is the first time the competition is being hosted in Kumasi, having been held in Accra since it started in 1994. And schools in the host city were bent on winning.
This year's host and win, it's in the Ashanti region. We are KNUST, and then we have KNUST SHS.
For OT, we have a massive support because Kumasi is our own. Most of our old students are not based in Accra. That's why when you go, we don't do well and we come back. But this year, as you are doing it to Kumasi there, I can assure you, we are coming in numbers. Ye Kumasi, ye Kumasi,
But as the boys were separated from the men, the real contenders emerged. In the end, defending champions and six-time winners, Presec Legon, and captains of the host and win agenda Prempeh College will come face-to-face with the first-time finalist, Keta SHTS, in what is not just a battle of schools, but a battle of regions. Manuel Kranting, Joy News, Kumasi.
Well, we've also been speaking to the contestants themselves. Nanaya Ojimai standing by with their preparations. But let's take a quick trip to the Volta region. Maxwell Agbagba is standing by for some update. Maxwell, we anticipate a tight contest today between the three schools. How's the feeling like in Keta, to be specific?
Well, Mamavi, many of the people I've been speaking to here at the Keta Senior High School and residents of Keta tell me for many years, Keta School has been Volta region's only shining light at the National Science and Math Quiz, and they have consolidated that assertion by being at the finals today. They tell me a win for Keta today will be a reward for all the hard work they have invested in this over the years. In fact, residents of Keta are not left out of this. Some of them have covered themselves with the school clothes, standing on the sides of the roads and meeting cars shouting, Keta School, Keta School, Keta School. In fact, we arrived here at the school in the morning and it appears no academic activity is happening today. It's all about the National Science and Math Quiz. The Julalians, some of them are here with us.
And those are students of Keta Senior High Technical School. And then that report by Maxwell Agbagba. Papani is back to his former school, Presec in Legon. Papani, what's the atmosphere there?
Yeah, Mamavi, so from here, it's all quiet. So unlike what you find in some other schools, you are not just, the concentration is not just on the National Science and Math Quiz. They are partly dividing all their attention also to the 83rd anniversary speech and prize giving day that they are celebrating tomorrow. So in the school, you will get a lot of students doing the singing and dancing. Early in the morning, they had to go to class break and then prepare the school for tomorrow's big day. But the expectation is that they will win the contest today so that it will climax. It will be the icing on the cake for them when they get to celebrate their 83rd speech and prize giving day. The mantra here is that they are serving a living God. And the motto of the school, like it goes, that illuminate all with the famous domain in their life, we shall see light. They are hoping that though they are the reigning champions for the 2020 competition, they will once again shine light on the NSMQ. Arguably, Presec has put up feet unlike any other school in the contest ever before. They are the record holders when it comes to back-to-back. So they are hoping that this year they hold the title and again be pronounced the winners of the 2021 NSMQ.
Okay, Papani, thank you very much for that report, but you're almost sounding like a current student. Let's go to Kumasi, Sofuline, and speak to Kwesi Deborah. Kwesi Deborah, what's the atmosphere there? Okay, I'm afraid we do not have Kwesi Deborah joining us, but let's bring you some research that we've conducted. What are the chances of the schools competing in today's exercise? Our research desk has been analyzing the data available to us. Kojo Yangsing joins me live. What are our findings, Kojo?
This is some fascinating stuff, Mamavi. Walk with me on this one. So we tracked the average scores of the various schools that have made it to the finals from 2018 to 2020. Just to see if it had any effect on their chances of winning, holding our other factors constant. So, by our analysis, in 2019 and 2020, the school with the highest average score won the final contest. So in 2019, St. Augustine's College had an average score of 56. Presec Legon had 53 and St. Peter's had 52.3. St. Augustine's, having the highest average score, went ahead to win the final contest with 39 points. In 2020, the same trend was seen. Presec Legon had the highest average score of 58.67, Adesado College had 39.67, Opokuwari had 50. Again, Presec Legon, having the highest average score, won the final with 36 points. But let's talk about 2018. Now, in 2018, West Africa Senior High School had the highest average score, but they lost in the finals to St. Peter's, who had the second highest average score. Now, going into today's final, Prempeh College has the highest average score of 65.33, followed by Presec Legon with 63.67 and Keta with 58.0. Not much between them. And since the average scores are very close, we're projecting a rather keen contest in this year's finals.
May the best school win. And that's Koji Yang saying build up to the contest starts at 1 p.m. That's less than an hour away. And you can catch all the action live on Joy News, Joy Prime, our Facebook streams, myjoyonline.com, and all our digital platforms. Do make a date. The 2021 National Science and Maths Quiz is produced by Primetime Limited and sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with APSA Ghana. The broadcast is supported by Cowbell, Papa's Pizza, Ace Medical Insurance, Tampico, DBS Industries Limited, Kins Group Limited, U-Lesson, Kingdom Books and Stationery, Dole Yogurt, Smarts App, and Nyamidua Apartment. This is the Midday News.